G'day. How are we all doing? Welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and as Philip would call it, a very, very hopeful Spurs future. Well, we hope so anyway. Joining me today, cause my usual sidekick. We're a bit like Batman and Robin, really. I'd be Robin, Philip be Batman. Do you know? Fighting crime in Spurs land as we go through all the daily news and everything. Philip, how are you? Back from your drumming duties up in Dublin. I mean, you're a bit like Phil Collins, aren't you, in a way? Do you know you're a drummer?
Well, I hope not. He's not able to drum anymore.
Well, I thought you might prefer that than Tom Jones, but
I was waiting for that. You'll get that one in somewhere anyway. So I've given up. I'm trying to fend those ones off anyway. But yeah, a good night last night. I'm back in Gotham City now today. You know.
Yeah, back in good. Yeah. I'm sorry we're running a bit late. It's been one of those days where everything can go wrong, has gone wrong. So look, we're here now and we're ready to give you all the latest news. Philip, should we see who's in the chat? Yeah. We have the one and only Ellie, fresh from her ladies' breakfast show this morning with her co-host Kate. So big up to them. She says, "Hello, my Irish cherubs." Shout out for the girls in green and the Lionesses, but good luck to all the Spurs women playing in their countries in the Women's World Cup. And Philip, we are going to cover the World Cup on this channel. We're going to do watch-alongs for the Ireland games, and Ellie will do watch-alongs for the England games, and we'll do the Women's World Cup final as well. And there'll be a daily World Cup build-up, daily sort of look back at the previous day games every day here on the channel with Ellie and Kate. So watch out for that coming. That's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking yesterday. I mean, the women's game is getting so much publicity at the moment. I'll give an example. Yesterday, I walked into the pub in Dublin, and the big screen on the wall, and Sky Sports was on, and they had this banner, and I was taking up half the page. Such and such signs for Arsenal. I thought, hang on, who did he play for? Then I realized it was a woman that signed for Arsenal, women. Yeah, but it was getting the full treatment on Sky. You know, so
it's brilliant. Really
has become very, very popular.
Yeah, it is. The only thing is the FAI have a lot of explaining to do because the FA have paid for the Lionesses' families to go to Australia. The FAI haven't bothered. Everyone from Ireland has to make their own way to Australia, which isn't cheap.
No, well, I mean, and given the financial circumstances here, listen, with the outcry that's going on at the moment over RTE and the money spent, if the FAI paid for the families to go out to Australia, there'll be an absolute uproar. So they're paying, the girls are all flying out business class, which is a big improvement on what's happened before. So halfway houses, maybe next time they'll fly the families out, but at least the girls are going out in comfort.
Yeah, it is. Well, big up, Ellie, and we shall speak to you later. We've got Jazz Fusion, morning, afternoon. All big up, Jazz. We've got Mia saying good day. We've got Hod God 10, good afternoon, everyone. We've got Eltel Crockle, good afternoon, team. Who else we've got in? We've got the disabled team as well. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is well. We've got DJ Samuel. Big up, DJ Samuel. Hope you're doing well. Who else we've got in, Philip? A lot of them talking to each other. We've got Wayne Bonner. Ellie saying, "Woohoo, come on, you THFC till I die." Was waiting for Tom Jones and his sidekick. Anyway, we've got Wayne Bonner. Afternoon. We've got Carl Simpson. Good afternoon, guys, and everyone in the chat. Who else we've got? We've got FTSM Column. Afternoon, all. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much, Colin. We've got Jim says, "Hi, Dermot. Hi, Philip and Derm. And fellow Spurs lovers. Kate, good afternoon, gents. Hope you're both well." We've got Drula in. Big up, Drula. Afternoon, Dermot and Philip and all in the chat. Who else we've got in? We've got Tottenham Fake Police, Fake News Channel. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. And we're going to do something to you very nicely now in a minute, and you will be blocked. So we've got Jeff Dawson. I'm a pro-feminist, but mate, I've tried hard. Right, I am pro-feminist, but mate, I've tried real hard to watch women's football. It was boring, although I enjoy tennis.
Women's tennis, yeah.
Right. Well,
everyone's their own view.
Everyone. Look, Philip, opinions are allowed in this channel, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Nothing
absolutely.
And he likes the Pet Shop Boys, though. Fair play to him, decent band. We've got Shakna and who else we got? Kate says Carl Simpson. Who else we got coming in? That's about it, Philip. So Where's that one by the fake Tottenham fake police? I hope the mods have done us proud. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Ellie or Mia, if you can find him, just let him know and boot him out. Now, Philip, any news? Where do you want to start today? Because there's a bit of news around, isn't there? Or do you want to start with should we start with the Munich one? Get it out of the way?
We'll get out of the way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay then. Right, so here we go. Right, we'll bring it up there, and here it is. Bayern Munich boss Thomas Tuchel met Harry Kane at his home to discuss transfer. Now, Philip, this has been reported on Football London, the Daily Mail, the Daily Star, the Sun, the Mirror. I've actually went through 3 or 4 different news sources, and it's everywhere. I've put it to our source. He hasn't heard about it, so we can take from that it isn't true. But I
guarantee it's coming from Germany. It's coming from Germany.
This might provoke a reaction from you.
Yeah. Look, well, first of all, right, there's a lot of stuff coming out of Germany about this. The German media is in a frenzy over Harry Kane, right? A couple of things about this. One, Harry Kane, if he did meet another team's manager, wherever he met him, at his home or in a lay-by in the M50, I don't care where, and they discussed the transfer, he is breaching his contract with Tottenham Hotspur. He is not allowed to talk to another club until next January if he does not wish to sign a new contract. So this is why I take this absolute bullshit. Thomas Tuchel should know better. Harry Kane certainly knows better. So I think that deserves the Fred treatment, jumping out the window, because that's not true at all. Not true at all. It can't be. If it is, it's incredibly foolish on both sides. Mm-hmm. I know it goes on. Yeah. You know, this tapping up goes on, but I mean, blatant like this, no way did this happen.
No. Look, for me, Philip, he should know better. But look, what can you do? It happens in football. But it's not right. It's not right at all. And what should Harry Kane now should Harry Kane be talked to about this, or should Bayern Munich be blamed to UEFA, or what can happen here? Because it isn't right, is it?
If that actually happened, right, Daniel Levy should be on the phone to UEFA now, complaining bitterly about Bayern Munich, and he should be fining Harry Kane. Because let's face it, Harry Kane, if this meeting did take place, which again I don't think it ever did, but just in a 1% chance that it did, he has shown total disloyalty to Tottenham. He's broken his contract. He's in breach of contract, and as such, should be made to pay the penalty.
Yeah,
but it didn't happen. So let's hope that will not be the case.
We do know. I mean, we've got Darren saying it's coming from a dodgy journalist in Germany.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's from Germany.
Well, we did say that at the start, didn't we, Philip? That we didn't believe it. Both of us said that. And
no.
It's German.
I think Harry has more regard for Tottenham to do that. I mean, that's an ultimate slap in the face to every Spurs fan there is if he did that, and that's why I can't see it ever happening.
We've got Paul Connor says, I don't believe this as Kane is on holiday and the Germans are pushing this like crazy, taking this with, we did say that.
Yeah.
Tuchel, Carl saying, where is it now? Tuchel is waiting in Harry's house right now as we speak. Yes, thanks, Harry. He isn't coming back to him.
Yeah. Harry just told him he's moved.
I got a thing here from Colin. He asked me something. Oh, here we go. I have found the fake police. There you go. I've done your job for your mods. My mods, right? Look, Philip, I don't believe a word of this. No. Absolutely do not believe a word of this. But look, what can you do? But we'll go on to the other bit of news, Philip, that Tottenham Hotspur and Ivan Perisic are reportedly in talks to terminate his contract so that he can leave the club this summer. Spurs signed a Croatian from Inter Milan on a free transfer last year. Antonio Conte was desperate to sign him, and Daniel Levy obliged, even though he was 33 years old. Now, Conte is gone. Perisic wants to go too. He's attracting interest from Turkey.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Kind of expected. Yeah.
Look, Philip, do you think it's right to get rid of Perisic, or would you keep him for next season?
I don't know. Will he fit into the high press, high intensity game that we're going to be playing this season? Okay, it was great for the assists last season. I think he only scored 1 or 2 goals, but I can understand he's on big wages. He's on huge wages because he was a free transfer. So, yeah, I think he's 33, 34, going on 34. I think we've seen the last of him at Tottenham, and I wouldn't be at all sorry to see him. I won't say I'm not sorry to see him go, but I think it'd be a better deal for everybody if he went off and had one last payday. I'm surprised Saudi Arabia aren't looking for him. He's the sort of player they should be signing, you know. But I think we've seen the last of him at Tottenham.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I would keep him as a squad player for next year, Philip. I wouldn't get rid of him.
Well, you know, my reason for saying he'll probably go is you're not going to be paying 150 grand a week to a guy sitting on the bench every week, and that's where Levy's thinking will come in. I think in this one, better spend the money, the wages on a fresh player coming in, rather than paying it. And I'm not calling him Deadwood, but someone that might only get 5 or 6 games in the whole season, you know. So.
But should we be doing this with the rest of the people now that are not in his plans? Try to talk to them and try to...
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eric Dyer has got 1 year left on his contract, okay? But he has publicly stated that he's going to fight for his place at Tottenham.
Yeah, that was going to go there.
He's not back at work yet because he had an operation during the summer. But he's going to fight for his place. And, okay, we all know what our feelings in Eric Dyer are, but I like to see that a player is not bowing down to the almost inevitable that he's going to be put on the transfer list. He said, I'm going to fight for my place, which leads me to believe maybe there's still a bit of a footballer left in Dyer that we haven't seen yet, or we might see again. As for cancelling his contract, that will be a last resort. Resort.
We've got DJ Samuel Phillip, who's been a member for 2 months of the Harry Kane membership, and he just says cheers with a couple of pints clinking each other. But DJ Samuel, thank you for your support, and it really we are really so appreciative of it, all the members. And if you want to become a member, it's only $2.99, but we are doing the members only podcast just for your members. So if you want to be a part of that podcast, sign up to the membership. And you can be a part of that. Every Friday will be a members-only podcast. And you will get a bit of an extra part of it as well. Me and Philip will do a little bit of extra content for members only. So we'll get you in on that. So please enjoy that. Philip, let's talk about Eric Dyer. Look, you've said Eric Dyer has no intention of leaving Spurs this summer. Look, we all know, we all have our feelings on Eric Dyer and Darren Sanchez and Davis and all of them. Look, for me, Dyer needs to go. I don't want him anywhere around the club. I don't want him anywhere near the first team. So what do? He doesn't want to go. You've got a year left in his contract. Do you know, I say get rid, because he's not a good defender. He can't defend. How many times last season did we criticize him, Philip, for bad performances?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's rumours that Saudi Arabia are in for him. If that's the case, that could be. I doubt he'll stay at Tottenham if he gets a big offer from Saudi. But if there's no offer coming in for him, right, he stated he wants to stay and fight. Now, if you had a choice that one of these players was going but one was staying, who would you keep, Sanchez or Dyer?
Do I have to pick one?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if we had to keep one of them, I think Dyer would be the one I'd keep ahead of Sanchez, purely because he's in. I'm not even sure if he's an English-based player because he was born in Portugal, but purely because of the two, he's a lesser of two evils as far as I'm concerned. There. Now, I'd rather see the two of them leaving the club, but it could well be, as I said, it could well be that it'll go down to the 30th of August, and Daniel Levy will buy his contract out and let him go and find another club, you know. But that's to be seen whether it comes. But again, I like the fight in him. He's not resigned to, I'm definitely going to go. He's going to fight for his case. So maybe there's a little bit of hope there. But again, I don't think any of us want to see him in the other first team next season. You know?
No. Kate says, I've just joined, but it's not showing. And she says, I've got a receipt email. I look into that. I don't know why that isn't showing. Just let me know privately what you've signed up to, and we'll look into that after the show, or me and Philip and Ellie will look into that after the show. But you should have, if you've signed up to a membership, you should have come up straight away. So we will look into that, Kate. So let us know privately which one. Just send me a WhatsApp and we'll get on to that. We've got Scurvy from Jazz Fusion. We've got Jim saying Perisic, Longley, Dyer, Sanchez, Reguilon, Tanganga, Lo Celso, says all need to go as soon as. Now, if you had to pick one to keep out of that lot, Philip, who would you keep?
Well, Longley's gone back anyway. Technically, he's not even on the books anymore. Dyer, Sanchez, Reguilon, Tanganga, Lo Celso. I'd say it's between Reguilon and Lo Celso. You know, I think, and even Longley out of that because he may still be coming back to us anyway. He's gone as it is. I mean, and also we'll come to it later. There's a bit of strange news about Ndombele as well, which might be a surprise to a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, Lo Celso he does it for Argentina every time. Why can't he do it for Tottenham? Now, I did hear he was a bit of a disruptive influence in the dressing room, but I think with a new broom in there now, and you might be able to sweep a few of these attitudes and egos out of the way, and there might still be a player there or two for us. Now, Perisic, as I said, I think he'll be gone. Dyer, Sanchez, want them gone. Reguilon, I like Reguilon. I don't know why it is. I think he's a decent enough player. Tanganga, I don't think he's ever going to make it. I think he should go. And we'll see. We'll see. It's a fascinating scenario. But what I would like to see is start getting rid of them now. Don't be waiting too long.
Look for me, Philip, Kate become a patron on our Patreon thing. Okay. On there. That's why it hasn't showed up on the YouTube channel. Well, Philip, let's go through some of the Spurs daily news. And the first one up, this was sent to me this morning. Understands Tottenham Hotspur have submitted a verbal opening proposal for Mickey van de Ven. Talks ongoing now with Wolfsburg. Not a done deal yet. No issues on personal terms. Parties are close on contract details. Up to Spurs and Wolfsburg. Philip, Tottenham are putting €30 million bid for Mickey van de Ven.
It should be enough to get him. It should be enough.
Yeah.
It should be enough. I believe now, if you can believe it, that he was in London over the weekend with his father and his agent, and he met up with Postecoglou, and I think they were mutually impressed with each other. So, you know, let's hope and say. I think it's between him and Tapsoba. Tapsoba would be more experienced and probably might be a better buy, but it's also probably going to cost another 10 or 15 million on top of that.
Yeah, well, I've read
to pay that or not, you know.
Yeah, I read somewhere we're only going for one of them, Philip. We're not going for both.
Yeah, it's either or. I think it's going to be. I don't think we're going to get both. We couldn't be that lucky.
No.
I think we're going to go either or. And I have a feeling it might be Van der Ven because of the price.
But still, it's a good buy. And Nelson as well, which we've gone in for as well. So do you know? Would you be happy with that? Sorry.
If we got two of those three, I'd be very happy. If we got one of the three, I'd be happy, but not as happy as I'd be if we got two, because I do think we need two new central backs really in that squad, you know. But the Galatasaray thing is starting. According to some reports, Spurs are willing to meet Nelson's asking price of 25 million. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, look, I think we should. I think it'd be a good. He can play everywhere, Mickey van der Ven. He can play left back. He can play centre back. So it'd be a good buy. As for Tapsoba or Nelson, out of them two, Philip, who would you go after? Who's more likely we're going to get? It'd be more like Nelson, isn't it? Really,
more like Nelson because he's cheaper. You know, whether he's a better player than Tapsoba, I don't know. Like the Bundesliga would be a more testing league than the Turkish league. You know, so I'd say. Ability-wise, the German guys or the German league guys would probably be better. But I mean, let's face it. If the scouts have obviously done a job on these guys and they fit the bill, so I think any of them will be acceptable to us. You know.
Yeah, I think so. So look, if that breaks today or tonight, we will be live with it straight away. Myself or Ellie will be on with that because I know Philip's out tonight. Being a superstar.
Leave it at that. Leave it at that, please. Leave it at that.
I leave it to Mia and Ellie and Kate to bring in the rest. I'm saying nothing.
Oh God!
Now, Philip, Tottenham have turned this now.
This is a good one. This is a good one. I like this one now. This is good.
Hang on, where is it up here now? We're going to bring it up here as well, Philip, up the bottom, right? Tottenham have turned down an offer, right, of €20 million for Ndombele. New Spurs boss Postecoglou wants to give him a lifeline to resurrect his career in North London, and also keep the takeaway companies in Tottenham very back in business again. Philip, for the love of God, I know that's holy. Why? Just why?
Well, the McDonald's UK share price went up 50% this morning when that news came out. It's a strange one, but I'll tell you, of all the people that we wanted out of the club last season, I just have this sneaking suspicion Ndombele could be an absolute revelation under Postecoglou. Now, I'm probably, if you're saying I'm mad in the head, maybe I am, but I just get the feeling there's a manager somewhere that will get the best out of this guy. And this could be him. And if we've turned down 20 million, he means business, because let's face it, we would have taken 20 quid for him 3 months ago. And now we're turning down 20 million. So there's obviously something, he's seen something that he likes. Now, maybe he's into man bags. I don't know. But, I think let's see what's going to happen here. But I think it's interesting because it's unlikely that Napoli will come back with another bid if we turn them down at that level. If it had been 15 million, fair enough. But 20 million is a decent enough price.
It is. DJ Simmons, bloody hell, he can't even get out of his car without getting.
Yeah, I know. Listen, all I can say in this, we've got to trust Postecoglou's judgment here. He's either going to make the greatest resurrection of a player's career in the history of football, or the greatest cock up in his career. It's one of the two, and there's no half measures. And
we've got a super chat here from Mia. And Mia, you have not let me down. You have not let me down. So thank you very much.
That, Mia.
She says it's not unusual for Philip to be busy. I love it. Absolutely love it. You have not let me down. Honest to God. That is a good one.
Thank you, Mia. We're very grateful. No.
We are grateful for the super chat, but that is brilliant.
Yeah, but not for the rest of it.
That's comment of the day for me. Unless somebody can beat that, that is comment of the day for me. Jazz Fusion says, I believe I can fly.
Yeah, I think pigs can fly. Pigs can fly.
Philip was a bit of R. Kelly, but there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone, please get over to Spurs Between the Lines and hit the like button over there and hit the description. Ellie says, because they're going to turn down 20 million, because KFC Mackie D's paid us 20.1 million to keep him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Actually, the rest of most of the team will have AIA on the front of their shirts next season. Ndombele will have KFC on his.
Do you know that there's a lovely chicken place just down the high road from outside me, Dave, and Jack when they're after the AC Milan game. Lovely chicken in there, right? I think they had a massive picture, of Ndombele on the wall. I swear to God, he goes down there after
shop
training.
Is sponsored by Tanguy and Ndombele.
Yeah. But seriously, we've got Kate's got a question for you. What's new, Pussycat?
Not UK as well. I'm surrounded.
We've got Carl Simpson. I heard Philip loves Ndombele so much he's going to rewrite his Xbox.
I am not often stuck for words, but I am at the minute. I really am.
That's bullying, guys. Not nice fat shaming someone. Oh, we're in trouble now.
Ooh. No. We're, listen, there's been jokes being made about Ndombele's in KFC and McDonald's for the last 2 years. This is not new, We're only sort of playing, We're not bullying. We're not trying to bully.
Yeah. Kate says, that's it from me now, Philip. I who have nothing.
That's not a Tom Jones song, is it? Maybe
it is actually. It is, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Drew. It's been a long-standing joke, hasn't it?
Yeah.
With Ndombele.
Yeah. I don't think anyone ever mentioned his weight. We just keep saying he likes KFC and McDonald's,
Yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Sorry to offend anybody. We don't mean to.
Yeah. Don't mean to. So, look, we'll go on from there. Now, Tottenham are the biggest suitors for Nelson this summer, Philip. They suggest that Spurs wanted to bid 18.8 million. Oh, yeah, I get what I mean. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Just that they suggest that Spurs wanted to bid 18.8 million for the Dane, but could match his 21.4 release cost. This would make Nelson the most expensive player ever to be bought from the Turkish Super League or league. The record was previously held by Tucson when he joined Everton for 20 million.
Mm-hmm. He didn't exactly tear up any trees either.
No.
Yeah, 25 million euros is the price. When you think about it, like for an established centre back, if you get him for 15 million less than Topsoba, you know, it's interesting. They seem to want the guy. There's talk of a bid going in, you know, proper bid. So let's see.
Hang on, Philip. I needed you to talk a bit more than you were. Sorry, I was just trying to do something else there.
Right.
Look. Would you? We're going after. We're going after. What's his name? Mickey Van der Ven. We're now going after Nelson. Would you put players into this deal? See, can we get rid of a few players?
Well, it depends what Wolfsburg want. You know.
No, I'm talking about the Galatasaray. Would you?
Oh, sorry, Nelson. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we could offer them, we could actually do a deal with what do you call it? If Ivan Perisic wants to go to Turkey, I know instead of cancelling his contract, let's get a couple of million for him and reduce down the price for Nelson. You know, that's a bit way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, if we offer them Sanchez, they'll probably laugh at us. Then again, they might not. I mean, there's supposed to be a bid in for 9 million from one of the Turkish teams for Sanchez. If it's from Galatasaray, and I don't know where it's from. If it's from Galatasaray, we'll give them 15 million and they can take Sanchez as well. That'd be a good deal for both clubs.
Anyway, Carl Simpson says, "Don't worry, Dermot. We'll all have the defenders at the club underneath the cock. Before you know it."
Do you know something, Carl? That's an antidote to my Tom Jones stuff when you do that. It really is.
Nelson is the right-sided centre back, says Hot God Tennant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Van der Ven is a left-sided
I said
one,
that to Kate Drula. Carl said, literally, I've heard that we have put in an offer for Nelson. It will be accepted, so don't know how true that is. Well, I have asked the question, so I'm asking on. We will hear back from then. Kate says, sorry, Philip, Delilah was at the door.
Do you know something? I'm going to go out and walk around the green grass of home. I think something I can do.
There you go. There, Philip. And we've got Jazz Fusion. Kate, woohoo, she's a lady.
Oh dear.
Philip, the cock will be regular throughout the season.
It will be. We've adopted the name
tell
of
you
the
one
podcast
thing,
anyway. You know.
Yeah, I tell you what, we've actually named our podcast after that, haven't we?
With a slight difference now. We've put the L. Yeah. The L isn't a different word now, but you know, close enough.
Bring Philip back to the green grass of home, says Kay.
I got in before you on that one.
Hot God says, we need a proper number 6. Basuma is not a 6, he's an 8. Would you believe? Would you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. See, the fact that we haven't really seen the best of Basuma yet.
No.
We don't know what his best position is, really. And it'll be interesting to see where he slots in under Postecoglou, you know.
Now, Philip, do youth teams from world football powerhouses like England's Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, as well as FC Porto, Portugal, will gather in Shanghai for the 2023 Shanghai Future Star Cup, which will be held on August the 26th to December the 4th. As Shanghai is a self-developing sports competition, the Shanghai's Future Star Cup was introduced last year. Its second edition at the SAIC Motor Pod Nong Arena has attracted 8 youth teams. So Spurs was a part of that. So is that a good thing for the youth players to get out and get some tournament football in?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. I mean, it's anything that brings the... Now, I'm just wondering, is this the under-18s that's going out there?
As far as I know, it is. It's the under-18s, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, our under-18s and under-17s did very well this season. They won trophy each, which is more than can be said for the big team. But anyway, so like, yeah, I mean, it's probably a bit of as a thank you to the lads to bring them out there and get them to play against better players from other countries. So yeah, it can only be good for the club. It'll give the players and give them a nice little holiday as well.
Yeah. And I saw this bit, and we've got a bit of breaking news coming in, Philip. I'll bring it up to you now. And it really is. PSG have told Mbappe to sign a new contract or leave, as they don't want to lose him on the free this summer.
Right.
Should
Tottenham 12 months left, haven't they?
Yeah. Should Tottenham do the same to Harry Kane?
They may well be trying that already with the new contract. They may be trying it, giving them this massive new pay rise that he's going to get if he signs it. So, yeah, interesting that. But I mean, let's face it, Mbappe is, to me, he's playing PSG. He's been playing them since the day he went there. And he's certainly not a player I want at my club, no matter how good he is. He seems to be divisive, divides the dressing room, and it's his way or the highway. So Spurs, I keep saying Spurs have to make the first move on Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And leave it up to him to reject it, right? So let's see what happens there. But fair dues to PSG. Put the guns in Mbappe's head.
Yeah. Guys, just to clear my previous message on bullying Dombele, I was only joking. I should have put that. I should have put the laughing emoji to lighten the message. I am nowhere upset, and hope you guys didn't take it that seriously.
No, that's fine, Driller.
No, that's fine. We
fine.
just making we've got Ellie, big up Drew. We've got Ellie saying the Spurs cock. Oh, for fuck's sake! Fucking hell! Spurs. It is misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
I'm gonna kill Carl Simpson for this. I suppose it is your antidote to my Tom Jones to you, Philip. So to be fair,
yeah, well, that's it. You see, that's it. Every time he does it, you know, it's before each at the minute. I think we're level.
Hang on, Philip. If you can go through the last couple of questions, I may have some breaking news.
Okay,
I'm just waiting to find out more. So just go from sort of there, Philip, if you can.
Just wishful thinking, yeah. This is wishful thinking. Oops, sorry, hit that one. Okay, there is wishful thinking, Carl. Yeah, there always is. Jazz Fusion is saying, should but won't. They'll be grabbing Harry's ankles as he heads for the door. Yeah, we hope it doesn't come to that, but it could well do. And Hot God 10 is saying, Basuma is box to box. Not sure he's a type that will protect the defence with aerial duels. You know, the short, long passing range could be talking nonsense, but he's a very good number 8. He is all right now. Again, as I said, we haven't really seen the best of him yet. We haven't seen the Brighton Basuma. I mean, I saw Brighton beat us the season before last, and Basuma stood out like an absolute god for Brighton. He was brilliant. That's probably why we bought him, actually, because of that performance, you know. So we'll see what happens with him, you know. And yeah, there's just a couple of ones here. I never want
Mbappe at my club. No,
I don't think it's ever going. I read in the paper that Arsenal were considering a bid for him. You know, then I had to look at the date and see it was an April Fool's Day.
Hopefully, Kylian drags Madrid down.
Yeah, well, he'll drag any team down. I think.
Jim said, "I wish Spurs would sell Kane to end all of the saga every window. I think under Ange he will be fine without him."
Maybe. It's like everyone else, Jim, we want it finished. We want this over with.
I want to ask this question, right? And it's something that's been bugging me, right? We've got people that go off their heads when they mention Harry Kane leaving. Oh, we've been nothing. We'll be relegated. Tottenham will be this. Tottenham will be that. Right? You know yourself, we've lost big players over the years, right?
Yeah.
Is this the right time for Harry Kane to leave Tottenham? Under a new manager regime? And start afresh without Harry Kane. Is this the right time?
Well, financially for the club, yes, because we'll collect a massive amount of money for him now. If we wait until the 30th of June next year, we'll get zilch for him. We'll get nothing for him if he doesn't sign the contract. So there's twos and fro's, yeses and nos on both sides of that argument. Yes, it is a good time for him to leave, and no, it isn't, because we do have to replace him. That's going to be tough, but we've done it in the past. The king is dead. Long live the king. And someone else will come along and do the trick for him, you know. And you know, it's just, I think everyone wants a decision. Please let us know what's happening, and please don't delay it too much longer.
Yeah. Now, Philip, we got our competition last week of it running. It runs now for the next couple of days. You can win a signed Emerson Royal shirt. It's a medium shirt. So you can go to the preseason game or the first game of the season with Emerson signed on your shirt. Ellie's the last week of doing questions. So this is Ellie's question this week. And Philip, after I read out the question, you can explain how people can enter and what the prize is at the end of it. So Ellie's question is, who scored our winning goal versus Chelsea in the 2008 League Cup final? Philip, how do you enter? But we are going to do what we always do. The funniest comment will get in for free. We always let one in for free. The funniest comment will. But Philip, how do you enter, and what will happen to when you enter?
What you do is you do a £2, €2, $2, $2 anything super chat with the answer or the funny answer, and then you put it in, and you go into a draw, which will take place next week. This is the 4th week we've been running it, and we have a lot of entries now. It's going to be good fun to see who wins this. As Dermot said, the prize is a signed Emerson Royal genuine Tottenham shirt. It's not a knockoff. It's not off the back of a lorry or anything, you know. And he actually has
Philip hasn't gone down to Peckham and met Rodney Trott around or Del Boy around the corner of the back of the man.
So the winner will have that shirt to either frame it or wear it or whatever they want, and we'll have a draw probably next Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, and we'll see who wins it, and see the right answers coming in already there.
Yeah,
giving it away, but anyway.
Yeah, giving it away. We've got Jonathan Woodgate, course scored. It came off his nose, didn't it? Didn't really come off his head.
It came off his shoulder or whatever. I don't know where it came off. It didn't matter. It went in the back of the net. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, it is.
Can I just say one thing, Dermot? Just well, before we finish off on the Harry Kane thing altogether, I think I have it as a banner there. You know that I love Paul Merson.
Right. Yeah. Well, listen. I just very quickly before we go on to that, Philip. Before we go on to that, I have a bit of news from Carl Simpson's comment here. Big up, Kate. So Kate's in the competition, and she says it's Jim's birthday on Wednesday. So happy birthday, Jim. Hey, Philip, one day soon we will buy defenders. Well, I can give you breaking news on that because I can tell you one thing. We nearly have bought a defender. So let me get the thing going. Right. We are close to an agreement for Mickey van de Ven. That will most likely be done in 24 hours, if not sooner. Then it's just down to paperwork side of things. So Spurs are close to an agreement with Mickey van de Ven. Philip, what's your reaction to that bit of break?
I think we already have an agreement with him over personal terms. Is this an agreement with his club? That's the important thing. Now the agreement is with Wolfsburg. If it's with Wolfsburg, then happy days. Happy days.
Yeah, it is. It is. Good. It's the Wolfsburg. So that is close. We're going to leave that up there. Unless there are any further speed bumps, but I've been told he can't see that happening. So we're looking around €30 million.
Yeah,
that's the price tag.
Yeah,
25 to 30
That's good.
€30.
I mean, I know we're always on Daniel Levy's back, but he's certainly doing the business this transfer window for us.
Yeah.
And he's getting players in at reasonable prices, you know. And just a couple of things. I think we'd all like to. I don't know if you saw the news yesterday, but James Maddison's partner had twins.
Yeah, I did see the picture.
Which was great for him. I'm delighted that's happened because you'd hate to have him gone out on the preseason tour and have to come home again because their wife or their partner was in labour or something. So that's good. Congratulations to them. And I'll just go over my Paul Merson thing here because I saw this yesterday and I nearly fell off my chair. Paul Merson and me don't agree on anything. Never. If he told me tomorrow was Thursday, I'd check the calendar, right? But he came out yesterday and he said, James Maddison with Harry Kane at Spurs. He says, what a combination. He says, Harry Kane scored 30 goals in the league for Spurs last season with no one to help him, basically. What's he going to do with James Maddison in the team? He says, I'm scared. I'm scared what Harry Kane will do next season. He's still at Tottenham. And coming from Paul Merson, that's one hell of a statement.
It is. Do you think who's ever at Tottenham, who's ever leading the line, with Madison behind them, they're going to have one hell of a season.
I think so. I mean, that's what we've been missing since Christian Eriksen left. We haven't had a number 10 to make the ammunition for the forwards, and they've largely had to do it for themselves. And I still think Harry Kane's 30 goals in the Premiership at Tottenham last season, with what he had around him and the disruption at the club and everything, I think was far more impressive than what that freak did up at Manchester City.
Yeah,
who had every decent player, the best players in the world playing around them. You know, so
do you know what? I read somewhere, Philip, right? He will have to score. He would have to play to his 36 and score 48 goals a season to equal Ronaldo's goal scoring record.
Oh well, I mean yeah. I'm more worried about him equaling Harry Kane's record, to be honest with you.
No, but I'm just saying.
I know. I get your point. But Mbappe will probably, or not Mbappe, Haaland, I'd say will stay a couple of seasons at City, and then he'll go on to Real Madrid. You know, it's a natural progression for these guys.
Madison will be the key factor in Kane deciding to remain at Spurs. Yaya Toure has urged Kane to stay at Spurs and retire at the club.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You know.
We've got Carlson. Kane is staying. He will talk with Ange and will get excited at the attacking football and the players we are bringing in.
Certainly.
Once the team learns the system, the goals will come. The fear is the ones coming in the other way.
Yeah. Well, I keep saying there's going to be some pain before the game here. There is going to be early season jitters and drawbacks and probably lose games we shouldn't lose because players getting used to the new system. But once it gels and once they get at it, then God help some of the other teams we play. Because Celtic fans found out 2 seasons ago, they weren't happy when they got the boy and who he was. Within 3 months, they were singing his praises. And that's going to be the same with us.
Look, on the Haaland thing, it was actually said on TalkSport. Actually, Graham Souness said it. And just quickly talking about Ronaldo as a player, you know, as a whole player, Philip, you know, for Haaland to have to score 46 goals every season for 16 years.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it?
Do you think Ronaldo could be? I know we always talk about who's the best player in the world: Pele, Maradona, George Best. Do you think Ronaldo could go into any room with any world-class footballer and say, "I'm better than everyone. I'm better than a lot of you"?
Apart from Lionel Messi, I'm always the impression Messi is a better player than Ronaldo. Okay, he might not have scored as many goals. I'm Messi. I'm a Messi fan. I'm not a Ronaldo fan. Never have been.
Do you know?
I just don't like the guy. I don't like his attitude. He went to Manchester United and he ruined them, which is okay. It was great for us, but you know, he's just a guy. He knows how good he is and isn't slow to let you know it. Great player, no doubt about it. But I'd far rather the Messis of this world.
Do you know what? I think that's a debate show or good debate in the podcast. Who's better, Ronaldo or Messi?
Yeah.
The Pele Maradona one. I still think Maradona's probably out of them two. Maradona's better because he's been to Europe and he done it. He won trophies in Europe. Out of Messi won a lot with Barcelona. He went to PSG. He won in France. Ronaldo won stuff at Man United, then won stuff at Real Madrid. Do you think Messi, look, both gone? One's gone to the Saudi League, the other one's gone to the American League. Do you think? Yeah, well, do you think, Philip, who's gone to the better league? Because we had this yesterday. I think you weren't on, and we were talking about the Saudi Pro League and about them wanting to get into the Champions League. Do you know who's gone to the better league? Do you think?
Oh God, I'd say I'll always have to say the American League. Now, that's for maybe not for footballing reasons, but as you're aware, I'm not a fan of the regime in Saudi and the way they treat people out there. And I feel anyone that goes there is kind of tipping their hat to that it's okay to do those things. Whereas in America, at least, they're a bit more free at the moment, anyway. And the American League is like, when you think about it, the American national team is very high up in the FIFA ratings, and the women's team have won the last couple of World Cups. So I think you've got to give tip to the American League for a number of reasons. Now the Saudis are trying to buy their way back into everything by sports washing, and I don't agree with that. So I'll always say the American League. You know,
I mean, I asked the question yesterday, Philip, and I asked it to Ellie, and I think it was on with Ellie and me yesterday. Is the Saudi League bad for world football? And if so, and this is the question part, they're knocking on UEFA's door to get into the Champions League. If that did happen, do you think football in Europe is finished if they allowed the Saudi pro leagues into the Champions League?
Well, what'll probably happen if they do get into the Champions League is the players in Europe at the minute there'll be an awful lot. There'll be a much greater outpouring of players into the Saudi League if that happens. Because they're going to see what the facilities are like there when they go for the away leg of a game. They'll see, oh God, that's nice. Wouldn't mind living here, you know. And that's going to happen. I personally should be kept out of it because they're trying to dominate every sport they go into. They've tried it with the golf. They're doing it with football worldwide. So no, I mean, Dermot, I keep mentioning this figure. That Saudi public investment fund in Saudi has resources of $160 billion. They could buy every sport in the world for that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to be resisted. I would keep them out of the Champions League and let them stay where they are. But no doubt, somebody will produce a rather large brown paper envelope, and next thing we know, Saudi are in the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, Colin is saying the Saudi League can't join the. I know they can't, but they are knocking on the door.
They're trying.
They have asked UEFA the question. Now, could we be looking at in a few years' time, Philip, of Premier League games being played in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, probably, yeah, probably. If they keep on investing and buying clubs up over Europe, that will probably happen. Yeah. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that there will be 2 or 3 Champions League or Premier League games played in Saudi every season. Yeah.
Look,
money talks.
And are you scared for it? Are you scared football changing? Do you think money has? Do you think one day football will go bang? Do you think there was too much money in the game and suddenly it would just go? A bit like, if you can say, like an economy. If one part of the economy starts failing, we could then you go into a recession. Could football find itself going down that route if it's not too careful?
Well, I mean, the Italian league and the Spanish league have been through this, right? They've gone through really recessions and poor clubs getting into trouble. Look at Barcelona. Barcelona have had to sell their TV rights for the next number of years to get prepayments on them, so they're in trouble. If the TV money disappears from football, then we're in trouble. Yeah. We really are in trouble. I mean, you even see Sky at the moment. Sky are on an economy drive now. They're getting rid of a lot of the presenters. Some guy who's been there for 30 years is leaving.
Jeff Shreves.
Jeff Shreves, he's going, you know. And so it just makes me wonder, like when the next contract comes up for renewal, have they got the money to obviously the clubs will be looking for an increase. Have they got the money? And my fear is there that the Saudi TV company, who's obviously owned by the same crowd as that owns Newcastle, will come in and make a humongous bid that UEFA will accept, and that will give the Saudi teams access to things we don't want them to have access to. So let's see what happens. But I would be fearful in the next 5 years over the future of a lot of things in football.
I just want to say big up to Lee Stratham as well. Big Leeds fan. So big up to Lee and Tony as well for popping in. He says football is just as corrupt as any other industry. It will follow the money.
Money talks.
Money talks. Yeah, Ellie put money talks. The Saudi League will push for that, and UEFA are notorious for looking for change to make more money. And that's what I was hearing yesterday as well.
Infantino. Look at you, man. Infantino wanted the World Cup to be held every 2 years. And what was that done for? That wasn't gone away yet. That's not for the good of the players. That's for the good of that.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Money.
That hasn't gone away either, Philip, the 2-year World Cup thing. And right, just very quickly, we actually I've just worked out a debate show on Saturday, and it's going to be about this. So you've got more on this on Saturday at 9:00 on our debate show, because I'm sure Philip will have great talking points in this, Philip. But do you think FIFA and UEFA, we had the FIFA corruption thing, didn't we, before the World Cup?
Yeah.
We had the Netflix documentary about it, which was really eye-opening.
Yeah.
Do you think
and
and it's still going off. Do you think, like Saudi going into other sports like golf, tennis, they're trying to do Formula One? They want 3 races in Formula One next season in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. The new calendar's out today, and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet to see where they are. But do you think football's going down a very dark road at the moment? Carl did put earlier in the chat that when the Premier League was formed, it was bad for world football. Where do you think this is going to end up, Philip? With all your football experience, you've been around football a long time. What does your crystal ball telling you where this will end up in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid of the Saudi influence. Getting every season, it'll get more. They'll keep buying up the clubs all around Europe until such a time they're so powerful that we can't ignore them anymore. And they probably will be trying to get into the various competitions. And the Champions League, let's face it, it's not to make the money. They don't need the money. They've got loads of it, right? It's to be, they're trying to become the dominant country in all sports in the world. And they're succeeding, you know. And maybe, you know, if they try and sort out their own human rights record a little bit more and spend a bit more money on that, we'd all be more happy, I think. And I think I'll just be worried. And as I said, if I was a Newcastle fan at the minute, I might be happy now that we've got this, that, and the other, and we've got money to burn and whatever. But it's blood money, and I would never accept that. I said it before. If a Saudi owner took over Tottenham, I would consider my position with Tottenham. That's how much I feel.
Well, I said something yesterday which I need to clarify. Look, it was pointed out to me yesterday that we were saying about certain countries with human rights issues, and one of them for me is a big thing for me is the Palestinian people and what they have had to go through. And for me, the likes of like Israel being allowed, Israeli clubs being allowed into Europe and other sporting events. We had South Africa banned for years and years over apartheid in South Africa. Why aren't like the sports authorities, FIFA, UEFA, not looking at Israel for what they're doing to the Palestinian people? And surely it should work in the same way, Philip. Should sport have a good hard look at themselves? Because there's too much of money coming in from different countries with bad human rights, how they respect women. And I could say you can come up with 5 or 6 different examples, but for me, the one that for me is the Israelis against the Palestine people. For me, that's one for me. Why won't FIFA and UEFA look at all these countries and say, right, till you sort yourselves out, you're not allowed to be in any of these competitions, like they did with Russia?
Because when it suits them, they will say politics and sport don't mix, right? Now, they couldn't do it when Russia invaded another European country. They had to do something there because that was a war. Well, the Palestinian-Israeli thing is tantamount to a war because, I mean, they're firing rockets at each other every night now. But UEFA will bury their head in the sand until something drastic happens, right? Say now Israeli dropped a nuclear bomb on Palestine, then they kick Israel out. But not at the moment. They don't regard it as serious enough, even though it's very serious. I wouldn't like to be living in Palestine at the minute. It must be horrendous to be under the circumstances they're living under.
Who's the bloke on the right?
This is a troll. Listen, I don't think America's whiter than white, but I'm not discussing America in this. You know, of course I've heard of Julian Assange. Yeah, no, we've all heard of Julian Assange, and he exposed their war crimes. Maybe he did, yeah, but he also broke the law. Now I don't believe he should be prosecuted for that, but he's in jail, and he's in jail in England, not in America. So you know, I think what we should do is, I mean. We could talk all day about the rights and wrongs of Palestine and Israel. Israel are at fault, no doubt about it. They should be pulled up for it, but they won't be. Not until something drastic happens. You know?
No. Well, listen, we will actually do a stream on that, and there's something very close to me and Philip Hart. But let's get back to Tottenham, Philip, because that conversation sort of went somewhere where I didn't expect it to go. Yeah. But anyway, Alfie Devine and the Tottenham youngsters are aiming to impress Postecoglou in pre-season. So we've got Troy Parrott. Parrott is now back at Hotspur Way after a year on loan in the Championship at Preston North End. A big summer for the player in his quest to become a Spurs regular in the future. Another loan move looks likely as he aims to take his development to the next stage. Always going to be judged on goals, he is a striker. The Republic of Ireland international really does need to start hitting the goal trail if he is to have a long-term future in North London. Featuring for the team the pre-season last summer, the 21-year-old will be hoping that chances come his way once again, and he goes on to wow Postecoglou in the process. Philip, look, I won't go on very long about these youth players, so just sort of short answers to this. Troy Parrott, keep or loan, and do you think he has a future at Spurs?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I had great hopes for him, but for reasons we've gone into before, I don't think that's going to happen. What I would like to see this season is, I'd like to see him go on loan to a Premiership club. And he's done the Championship. Go to someone like Luton Town, someone that's just promoted, and that might be a good fit for him, you know. But I honestly don't see a future out of him at Tottenham unless he. I know Harry Kane went out on loan 9 times, whatever it was, and we probably thought the same of him back then. But Troy Parrott is not a Harry Kane, and I think another loan is what's going to happen. Let him impress Postecoglou from a distance and then bring him back in next season. But put him somewhere else this time.
Yeah. We've got Transfusion. How fast is Parrott? How quick? He's not that quick, is he, Philip?
Not
really?
Quick. He's middling. He's reasonably quick. You know, he's reasonably quick. You know.
Yeah. I'm just very quickly. Right. Just a few quick things. David Clark, I won't bring up your comment. I know what you're saying. Philip, you can read that and give you your action without bringing it up. And also, Carl is saying, Dermot, these people are blocking us mods, so we cannot see the comments. Oh. So we'll have to work something on that as well.
How are they managing that?
I don't know, Colin. So just to let you know, Dermo, these comments aren't coming up in the normal chat. So we need to work out how that is. I'll have a chat with Mia. Mia can come in afterwards so we can talk about that. But do you want to send to David, or do we leave that for a future show?
No. Listen. I mean, there's problems on both sides in that conflict. I mean, I take both sides, but I think from the way it's reported, it always seems to be the Palestinians are on the receiving end of it, you know. But they are not blameless at all, and they've threatened Israel and whatever. I just think it needs someone big to put their heads together and get talking. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen because the divisions are just so deep at the moment.
Well, Philip, look, thank you. If you think about our history, it's not much different, is it, really, in a way?
No, not really.
How we came into existence as a country.
The nearest neighbour is dominating us.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, let's get back to that. That will be for a future show. Me and Philip do want to do something on that. So that will be a future show. Philip, Troy Parrott, keep, sell, or loan?
Loan.
Okay, I'm going for sell. I think we need to get rid of.
I'll give him one more chance. But that'd be it, you know.
Yeah. Catman Jess says his pace is 75 in FIFA. That tells you anything. Not quick. I love your picture on YouTube, by the way, Catman Jess. That's really cool. Big up. David Clark says Parrott would now show signs that he's progressed, but it just doesn't look like he's going to make the grade. Yeah, I think so too, David. I think we'll have to agree with you on that.
We're not far out on that, David. I'm just giving him one more chance because he's Irish. That's all.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't even think. I think Evan Bergson now is our new hope. Now Parrott looks like he could become a very good Championship player. Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
I'd like to see him have a go at the Premiership, though. You know, he's been proved in the Championship. He's never really torn up any trees there either. But let's put it to him that, right, you're going to Luton, you're going to some lower Premiership team. Let's see what you can do there.
Diego's top 5, Ellie. My interest in the sport began with my love for Cruyff. There's a show we actually are going to do, the best players in the world and who got us interested, because there's some great players in the past there, Philip, over the years.
True.
Now, Alfie Devine, another one that sort of divides the Spurs fan base. Devine seems made for Postecoglou's Tottenham system due to how the Australian lines up in the midfield. The 18-year-old has all the qualities to be a major success in one or of the 2 number 8 roles, and the hope is that he will go on to star there for Tottenham in the not too distant future. Perhaps a bit short in the position at present with Bentancur injured, Devine may well be given a go there by Postecoglou in the upcoming friendlies. While a loan move may be the better option for him, this season could be potentially given the head coach something to think about if he excels once given a chance. Philip, look, we all know about Alfie Devine. We all know his talent. We all know he's a future star, a future type, say, Glenn Hoddle type player. I've seen him play for the under-21s. I've seen him on that. Do you know that fella is a genius? Do you think this could be his season to come into Spurs and hit the first team and make a mark for himself?
I'm hoping that Ange's going to bring him into the first team squad this season, because I do think he's 18 now. It seems an age ago that he became the youngest player to score in an FA Cup match. Remember that against Marine? He's only 16 at the time, I think. Bring him into the squad. Let him train with the big boys this season and throw him in whenever the thing arrives. And I think he won't let us down. He's a really, really talented young lad. And you'd hate to see him lounge in the under-21s or the under-18s or whatever, and then suddenly be transferred out to somewhere. All that good work for nothing. We need to make use of his talent now, and I think he won't let us down.
Yeah, keep, sell, loan.
Oh, keep, absolutely.
I'm with you. First team, bring him up to the first team, put him in the squad.
Bring him in the squad. Have him on the bench a few games. Bring him on. Bring him on in games that we're winning and let him express himself without any fear of being recriminated against if we lose the game.
Yeah. Now, Brooklyn Lions Foster. Lions Foster is no stranger to training with the first team squad, having been spotted working alongside them in the past. A tad short on defence, numbers at present, with a handful of team centre backs still on their summer break following their international comments. The 22-year-old has the opportunity to impress Postecoglou, a regular in the Premier League 2 last campaign. The centre-back will be paying that he makes the trip to Australia and Asia with the rest of the squad. Philip, would you bring him just for the experience of the pre-season, or what would you do? Because you can't bring every youngster with you. What would you bring? Brooklyn Lions Foster? He did play quite well last season. What I've seen of him for the under-21s. So
yeah, but look what the under-21s were relegated. I know they got the relegation was null and void at the end of the day when they changed the rules, but he's 22, and that worries me that he's not knocking on the door before now. Mind you, a brilliant name, Brooklyn Lions Foster. His parents own a tea company or a brewery. It depends how many players are going to be brought on that tour. If you brought them all the young lads, there'd be 150 people going on the trip. So I think. If he's training with the first team, which I believe he is, then maybe Angie will bring him, and we'll see what he can do. We do need we need young players coming through from the academy. It's happening too infrequently at the moment, and the academy was not really Conte's first priority, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
But now I think the emphasis is going to change. And there is going to be a lot of emphasis on players coming in from the academy. So good way to bring this guy out there, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I will do that actually for the next time, Antonio. So I've been trying to keep it like anyone can come in, but I think I will from the next stream, from the stream tomorrow. We're making it subscribers only. I think it's the only way we can get these.
Yeah, there are some people around that I don't know what they get a kick out of it or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me see. We've got. No, we haven't. We've got Jazz Fusion saying, Criken. I couldn't find any much. I could.
Cirkin is playing for Sunderland. We transferred him, and he's just after signing a new contract with Sunderland.
So anyway, Matthew Craig, Philip, named in the first team squad on a handful of occasions in the past, Craig's opportunity finally came his way on the final day of the 22-23 season, and he was introduced off the bench in the win at Leeds. Seems so long ago now, doesn't it, Philip? Can't wait for Spurs to come back again. He will be intent on following that up by playing a part in Tottenham's pre-season friendlies, penning a new contract with the club that runs until the summer of 2026. The Scotland under-21 international is one for the future in the capital. Don't know much about him, Philip. I haven't seen him much, but do you think he's bringing him on these? Do you think we need to start bringing in these youngsters more into the first team instead of?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bring him into the squad anyway. Now, this guy had a twin brother who was also on the books. I haven't seen his name recently. Maybe the brother was let go. I don't know. But it's hard to tell. Craig, he came on there at 5 minutes to go against Leeds when we were winning 3-1. So it's hard to put any real spin on what he did that day. Again, maybe it's one they're going to bring with him. He does seem to be highly rated. He signed a new contract for 3 years, which is, good enough. So, again, yeah, you're right, though. We do need to start bringing the players through. And, when you think about it, this tour that's coming up, they're leaving for Perth, I think, tomorrow week.
Yeah.
13th, I think they're flying out, right? As I put in the banner earlier, some of the players will only just be back from their pre-season, Harry Kane being one of them, Oliver Skip, the likes of that, Romero. So there's going to be room for maybe for the first match against West Ham, for guys like this to get a game,
Yeah. Philip, keep Sal alone.
Well, the fact that he signed a new contract, I'd keep.
Okay, fine. Well, Philip, look, I'm going to stop that for a minute because I have got a bit of breaking news on this Shakhtar Donetsk with Tottenham over Solomon.
Yeah.
And Shakhtar Donetsk CEO Sergei Polkin has said he is hoping to reach a solution with Tottenham Hotspur over the manner Solomon proposed summer move. Tottenham is an established, respected club with a big history with a huge number of fans around the globe. We are sure Tottenham executives understand that Shakhtar invests in significant money in the Solomon transfer investment that Ukrainian clubs in our difficult position simply cannot afford to lose. We hope we will have a meeting with Tottenham's representatives on the eve of our friendly match, and in good faith, we will find a solution to the Manor Solomon issue. The solution should satisfy both sides. Well, that sounds quite hopeful, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm laughing a little. I know everyone has sympathy for Donetsk, but they were playing the football outside the country for years. They got 100 million from Mudryk from Chelsea last January, right? So they're not on their uppers. But I'd say this friendly match against Shakhtar is part of the solution to this.
Yeah,
probably a big part of the solution, whereas they'll get the gate receipts or whatever, and we'll probably end up paying a nominal fee for them. That'll keep everybody happy.
If you want to blame anyone, you can blame me because I'm the one that put you on timeout.
This is a football channel, really, so we don't normally.
Yeah, I know we went in a different position, but look, I timed you out, not the mods. Look, everyone can come on and say what they want on here. Everyone's respected opinions, but just keep it respectful. That's all I ask. Name calling or saying, if you've got something to say it, but put it in a respectful way. In a respectful way that it shows us respect. We show you respect by bringing your comment up, by speaking about your comment, but show us respect and show Philip respect as well, because I will not stand for that. Anyone that, I don't care what to say about me, I'm big enough to take it myself, but anyone speaks rudely of Philip or Ellie or Mia will be blocked off this channel, and they will be blocked by me. Anyone can have their say, can have their opinions, but you show respect to Philip, you show respect to Mia, Ellie, and myself, but mostly Philip, because Philip is one of the nicest people you will ever wish to meet. And we have great fun off the chat. We have great fun on here, Philip, you and me. We always have good fun, but show him some respect. We don't mind you saying what you're saying. We will read it. We will discuss it, but show him some respect. And that's what you want to say anything, Philip, but that's my opinion on it.
No, I mean, I have lots of things to say on the Israeli-Palestine thing. I mean, I'm not taking sides on it. I'm not going to blame anybody in particular, but I'll save it for another time when we're not. But this is mainly a football channel, and we do go off tangent occasionally, and we do have the odd podcast.
Mostly by me.
Mostly by me. You know, but anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. But as I say, I'm not a radical. I'm very moderate views on a lot of things.
Yeah. But look, I'm sorry to say, Philip. I thought I'd just stick up for you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Thanks.
And then we've got Tony says, just give them 50% of the sale of on fee.
Yeah.
Do you know that's not a bad point? Actually, that's a good idea.
No, it could be something. I mean, you can be sure Levy won't want to lash out too much up front, so that's a good point. You know.
Yeah. No, Kate was saying. Where's Kate saying? And Colin says, I ain't taking your crap, you guys. You do a great job. I will not have anyone state otherwise. Well, thanks a lot, Colin. That's very kind of you. Ellie's saying football is king and queen. Hey, calling you a king now, Philip. King Philip.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah, where's your crown? Right. Harvey White now, Philip. Let's get on to Harvey White. It's very much a case of now or never for White this summer, as he is now in the final year of his Tottenham contract. Finishing last season on loan with Derby County, the midfielder rarely needs to be playing regularly in the 23-24 after limited in recent campaigns. Philip, do you think his time is done at Spurs?
Yeah,
sadly?
He's been around far too long. He's never really made the breakthrough. I know he's made a few appearances, but no, I think we need to sell him.
Yeah, I think so.
No offense, Harvey, but that's the way it is, you know.
No, well, if Philip says you need to go, you need to go. Right. Now, I've never heard of this player.
No, I've heard of him, yeah. I've heard of him.
No. Santiago is another that trained with the first team squad on occasions in the past. A regular in the Premier League too last season. The Vigo-born player. Never heard of. Where's Vigo?
Spain. Northern Spain. Yeah, northern Spain.
Vigo
it's near the Basque country. It's up near the northern Spain part of it.
Right. Okay. Vigo-born player will offer Postecoglou a versatility as he can play in variety of positions in the front line. Now, is that something we've been missing, Philip, or do you think we got enough there up front?
I think we've enough. I've heard of this guy, but again, he's one that's been sort of there for years, a bit like Harvey White. And I don't honestly think there's probably not a future for him at Tottenham, really.
Yeah.
Harvey White. I'm probably completely wrong there, but I just feel I'm looking more at the 18, 19-year-olds coming through rather than the 21, 22-year-olds. You know?
Harvey White, Philip, keep, sell or loan?
Well, loan possibly, but probably sell.
Yeah. And then Iago Santiago, keep, sell or loan?
Sorry, yeah, I thought that was him. Yeah, either loan or sell, but don't keep.
Okay. Well, there you go, Philip. Well, look, that brings us to the end of today's Newsbeat. Thank you for everyone that's came in and entered the competition. It'll be running again tomorrow. Any more news on Mickey van der Ven, we will bring it to you first here. Philip, what's your plans for this evening? Anything?
Now, you know well what I do. You know well what I do on a Wednesday evening, so don't be stirring it up there. For those of you who don't know, and I'll say this once. I live in a small village, right, in the west of Ireland that has a long-established bingo session on a Wednesday night, and I happen to read the numbers. And that's where the Tom Jones thing, and where Tom Jones and bingo connection comes in, I just do not know. Ask Dermot.
Well, but we all know, Philip, you're our sex symbol for the 17-year, 18-year-olds of your village.
Yeah, right, okay.
I love it.
Retribution is coming, and you will not know when it hits you.
Carl Simpson has your antidote for me, so you know that. So.
I know.
Okay, and Mia says Phil will be dropping his sex bombs. Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, lovely.
Sorry, no.
Hang on, is Philip one of the village people? Here, come on now. Which one? Is that the guy with a helmet or the Indian?
Which one are you, the village people, Philip? Now, this is interesting.
Now, this is good. This is good. Tell me which one, Jazz Fusion, and I'll decide whether I'm going to block you or not.
I reckon you're the Indian one. You're the fella with the big Indian hat on, Philip.
And then God, YMCA. Oh God.
Yeah. And that column says Sex Bomb 69.
Steady Eddie. Oh Jesus.
Anyway,
stop.
That could be a competition. Listen, thank you all for watching. Ellie and Mia, if you can.
I'm surprised at that comment. Kate, look at Kate's comment there.
Fiddles with his.
Actually, no, we're very high tech here. We've actually got it's not. There's no such thing as bingo balls anymore. It's a machine that shows the numbers on the front. I keep pressing buttons and the numbers come up.
Yeah, Philo is definitely the Red Indian. And David says Ellie's podcast this morning got close to the knuckle. Ooh.
Oh.
And Ellie, if you can come into the back now, we'll have the meeting. But how many balls does Philip juggle?
Just forgot my missus isn't listening to this.
Yeah. Anyway, well, look, we always finish with Fred, but today this is Ellie finding out that Philip has now got 25 balls he juggles. And on that bombshell, we'll finish. We'll be back later. See you all later. Come on, you Spurs. Trust.
I'm speechless.
You're speechless. Okay.